When you fly, do you get sick? Do you suffer with jet lag? It takes you 3, 4, 5 days to get back into the full flow of things? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you my top secret tips to escaping jet lag completely, not getting ill. Check it out. Right, so the preparation for your trip starts 3-4 days before you even go. Those 3 nights before, you should be getting really good quality sleep, really getting to bed early, cutting down the screens and any other distractions, making sure that your sleep rhythms are really in check. Another big thing for me is I really try and do some sort of exercise a couple of days before, just so my body is in kind of a dynamic shape. It's not really in like this sedentary kind of stiffness. Going to be sat on a plane for 10-12 hours. Want to give my body a little bit of something to think about beforehand. Eating really good quality foods, specifically antioxidant rich foods. I love to have a few juices the day before I fly, just so I've got those really powerful molecules flooding through my body when, you know, we're up in the air and it's such a immune compromising situation to be up in the air with all those other people. So that's the first few things to consider is getting yourself prepped up even before you fly. Then you get into the airport. Obviously it's really important to get there in good time so you're not rushed and messing around. You can have something to eat, get your water bottle. Obviously this is going to be one of the most important things you take with you when you fly. Also, if you do, like I'm flying from Victoria to Vancouver now, it's a very short flight, and then I've got about an hour and a half before the big flight to Heathrow. I am going to be walking around, stretching my body, doing a little bit of like maybe some yoga poses in the corner, just so I'm keeping my body from not becoming super stiff and kind of like really stagnant. I really do not want that. I want my body to be kind of flexible and moving beforehand. So that's your next big tip. Okay, so let's get into some things that I actually take on the plane with me that are really, really important. And the first thing I take on with me, without fail, the first thing in my bag is this Cambridge mask. And this is a filtration mask that's going to take out and filter any pollutants that are going to be kind of in the air, up in an airplane. When there's 300-400 people coughing and breathing in a very confined space, this is an absolute lifesaver, especially when it comes to saving yourself from getting sick. So it simply goes on like this. You might look like a crazy person, but it actually blows me away that I'm the only person on a plane with 300 people that's got one of these. Last 200 hours, really great quality. It's got a military grade filtration system on it. I couldn't recommend anything more than this. It's such a fantastic product, 40 Canadian dollars. And the air that you're breathing on an airplane is coming from a filtration system that is locked into the engines. But what they do every time a plane lands is they have to maintain those engines. They have to put flame retardants on them and oils and other kind of lubricants, really toxic stuff. If the engine gets hot enough, which it obviously does on many flights that are long distance and probably short distance, that energy, the system for the air filtration that's actually in the engine can actually overheat, and a lot of those chemicals that I mentioned just now can actually leach into the air filtration system and actually leach into the cabin. And there's been so many recorded cases of aerotoxicity. If you want some more information on that, I've got another video on that, but it's a very well documented issue. So that's why I have the mask. Next up, second most important thing I have is obviously a water bottle, and I keep this full constantly. I'm up in the back of the cabin refilling this bad boy as much as I possibly can. I might have 1 glass of wine or something, but I think it's really important not to drink too much. Even if it's free, you're going to compromise your immune system even further. Putting a lot of pressure on your liver in a very sensitive environment is probably not the smartest idea. Next up is obviously something to read. I'm reading this book about body language at the moment. I've got this other one called Outwitting the Devil, got recommended by a buddy of mine. Obviously very important. I don't think watching screens for 10, 11, 12 hours, depending on how long your flight is particularly healthy for you. All that light coming in, it's not super great. So mixing that up and allowing your brain to kind of calm down with a little bit of reading, awesome. Next up is going to be something to cancel out all the noise that's coming in. You know, you probably don't really notice how noisy it is, but you kind of get used to it. You don't really think about it. But if you have these on and then take them off after 5-10 minutes, oh my God, you're going to hear a significant amount of noise. And you know, that's a noise that your brain is hearing, it has to filter out. And again, it's shocking your nervous system into thinking that there's a threat, putting you on high alert, ramping up your immune system, and again, putting your body potentially in a place for getting sick rather than being relaxed and kind of healthy. And that's kind of it, apart from, you know, I like to have a little sleep mask. This is a really nice comfortable one I got from Dr. Joe's workshop, and also like something just to like put around my neck. So I don't usually sleep on planes. I just don't get tired enough to really sleep. So I just like want to be comfortable, and I put some nice music on and just kind of like mellow out a little bit. For me, this route that I'm taking from the UK, from Victoria to the UK, you know, it's going through 8 time zones. My plan is to not sleep on the plane, and I'll land at 1 p.m. Thursday tomorrow in the UK, and then I will do my very best to stay up till about 7 or 8 p.m. until I'm really, really tired, and then go to bed at the bedtime of my new location, my new destination. I find that works so friggin' well when it comes to getting used to the new place that you're going to be. And then I might have 1 or 2 more early nights, like 8-9 p.m. But then I absolutely have no experience of jet lag, and then I'll do that the other way when I come back to Victoria. All right, so I just landed in London, got picked up by my wonderful brother. There he is. Say hello, Russell.
Hello, Russell.
And just wanted to let you know I had a great flight. Watched a couple of movies, didn't spend the whole time looking at a screen, read a lot of this really amazing book that I'm into right now, and also did a lot of walking around the cabin, which was probably annoyed a lot of people, but so important to obviously keep that movement up. And one little sneaky tip that I always do when I fly, always pre-order like a special meal, whether that's like gluten-free or vegan, because you get it, one, you get it first, and 2, it's not kind of like batch prepared like the other 300 meals on the plane, so it's got a little bit more love behind it. And I don't know about many other airlines, I usually fly with Air Canada, but their chef work for those specialised meals is pretty decent. So right now in the UK it is 20 to 3 in the afternoon. In Victoria it's about, I don't know, 6 a.m. so I've been up for a long time. My plan now is to just get home, relax, have some good food, and then kind of like 7-8 o'clock get to bed, and I know I'm going to have 10 to 11 hours of very, very decent sleep, and then I'm right back into this new time zone, feeling good and energized, and not being screwed over by jet lag or hopefully any kind of like illness, because I have my Cambridge mask with me. Right, so it's 9 a.m. now, the day after I flew, and I feel awesome. I feel energized. I went to bed about 8:30 yesterday, woke up at 8 a.m. so I had a really like 11-12 hours of great sleep and great rest, allowing my body to kind of replenish itself. And all those preventative things that I did even before I flew, the 3 days before I flew, I did some things. And all of those have contributed to the fact that now I don't have any jet lag. I feel awesome. I don't have to spend 2-3 days, whether that's at home or in a hotel room, really trying to recover from the trip. So one last thing that I didn't touch on before is supplements, right? So these are important to take anyway, but 3 days before you fly, when you fly, and a few days after, super important. This is B complex. So important to help your body mobilize energy, especially if you're traveling over time zones and your travel time is long. And then when it comes to gut health, you're going to a new destination with new water, new foods, new environments, really going to potentially upset and change your microbiome, all those gut bacteria that do so many important jobs for you. So I take this XOS. This is a prebiotic. It's going to help feed my good bugs and keep them there. And then Probiotic 3 has got some really amazing shelf stable, so you can travel with this. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. This is going to keep my gut bacteria full of all those good guys that are going to keep me healthy while I'm traveling. And that's it for my tips when it comes to flying. But a little summary. So a few days before you fly, make sure you're sleeping good, you're getting some movement so your body's not going to be super stagnant when it's sat in that plane for so long, and making sure you're eating really clean. And then when you're on the flight, super important to prepare and take the right things with you. I always 100% take my Cambridge mask with me, so I'm not continuously for 10 hours taking in everyone's coughs all the, oh, it's just not, don't even want to talk about it. Get yourself a mask. Water's really important. Moving around the cabin, not spending too much time watching screens and TV. Split that up a little bit with maybe some reading or some puzzles or something. And then when you land, super important for me, I really think is the big key for not suffering for jet lag for a few days, is wherever you are, stay up until it's the kind of right time to go to bed in your new destination. So like 8, 9 p.m. Go for a walk when you land, do some other things to distract you, make sure you're eating clean and eating and drinking well. And if you go to bed and get that good solid 10 to 11 hours of sleep and rest, then you're going to be super pumped and ready to really enjoy your holiday to the max. And that is actually it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe, hit that like button, and check out some other videos if you want. My name's Simon Brazier with SciBee Nutrition. Goodbye.